right now, I would hope that if we get to that point, that people are treated with dignity and respect if we go into the churches and schools to remove anyone.
I've personally witnessed the police department, I wouldn't say actually do the apprehension of migrants themselves, but they've assisted Border Patrol and DPS whenever they're trying to apprehend people. Can you speak to what exactly is the policy for police department officers if they are called for assistance in any way during those situations?
Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna let the chief, but first of all, I want to reiterate though that we are one of the safest cities in the nation, and safe. Important job is to make sure that the El Paso community is safe. I can tell you that, and I'll let the chief of police speak to this, but we don't have the resources to enforce federal enforcement. So El Paso and the men and women in the police department, I don't believe the chief's going to have the resources to go out and enforce immigration in our community, but I'll let him take this one.
Good morning. So to answer your question, is the El Paso Police Department works with both our county partners, the Sheriff's Department, state DPS, and our federal partners. A lot of the laws that are on the books in the state, human trafficking, that's a state law. Drug trafficking, state law. Weapons, state law. So we work together to determine who is the best entity to enforce the law and get the best prosecution. The police department does not enforce immigration laws.
I have a question for the mayor. Have you received any call or heads up from the new administration or DHS or anyone in the new administration that operations may be happening in your area or even in the county?
We have not. We have not yet. Not yet. No.
Mr. Mayor, it looks like the DOJ will prosecute officials that get in the way of federal law enforcement trying to enforce immigration law. If a city official, whether it's a low-level official or higher up, tries to protect migrants or drags their feet, would you protect them if the DOJ tried to prosecute an El Paso official?
Yeah, let me be very clear on this. So we will follow all laws, especially federal law. Federal law, state law, we will follow all the laws that are before us. So we don't foresee doing that. So, but I do want everyone to know in El Paso that you are in a safe community, that I want you to be able to go about your day-to-day routines. El Paso is vital in economic development. The cross-border trade that go into El Paso and throughout Texas and throughout the rest of the United States is in the billions. So it's been business as usual here for us in El Paso. It's been very calm. It's been very quiet. And I want the El Pasoans to know that we're a safe city and we're going to continue to be that way.
Speaking of economics, President Trump said on national TV that he could be applying tariffs to Mexico of 25% starting on February 1st. Are you reaching out to the White House to let them know how vital international trade is to El Paso and how that may harm the economy?
Yeah, so a number of us in the region have talked about the tariffs and the possible what that could do to our region. As you know, if you put 25% tariffs on any product coming in from Mexico, it ultimately ends up getting passed on to consumers. So a lot of the goods that we're receiving out of Mexico and our trading partners will increase by 25%. So that will hurt our region. So I'm hopeful that we will come to a solution that doesn't hurt El Paso, that doesn't hurt Texas, and doesn't hurt the U.S., because ultimately that's what that would do.
Mayor, are you expecting federal immigration raids in El Paso? Are you anticipating that eventually happening?
No, you know, I can let the chief speak to that, but I've reached out and I've spoken to the Director of Field Operations for U.S. Customs and Border Protection. I've spoken to Border Patrol, and as of now, we're in a wait-and-see mode. We're still gathering information because the executive orders are coming out so fast that we're still processing it. Our city attorney is looking at what the executive orders are bringing for our region. So it's going to take us some time to go through it, and as of now, no.
And what's your guidance to any local official who is approached within the coming days? How should they respond to federal officials looking to either enter schools or churches or anywhere? What general guidance can you provide to them?
Well, again, we're a safe city. I don't want El Pasoans to be living in fear. That's not what's going on right now. If you walk outside, it's very calm. It's been business as usual since Monday, since the president was sworn into office. So we're going to continue business as usual in El Paso, and we're going to be a very safe community.
Two more questions?
So the administration said they will be sending additional troops to the border. What's your reaction on that? Are more troops needed here?
Again, I don't think we need troops in El Paso. I go back to saying we are very safe on our border here because it's very safe. And again, I want to message out and be very clear to the folks in El Paso, Texas. You do not have to live in fear. You can enjoy your
Last
community.
Question for the police chief on ICE raids.
Sure.
I've been patient. Mayor, just on, the DOG actually has changed the lexicon on how they refer to undocumented persons. Now they will refer them to as illegal aliens. I know this community actually has migrant welcome centers. Do you anticipate the city of El Paso following suit?
So El Paso is a warm and loving community, and we stick together as a family. We don't see the border maybe like other communities do. We're one. I don't see us changing the names of people. We don't call them that in our community. We're very loving. So I don't foresee El Pasoans changing the name of anyone like that.
First question for the chief right here.
Chief.
So for ICE raids, we have heard from Tom Homan that in that initial phase, they will be prioritizing undocumented migrants with criminal records. Do you support that? Are you against that? And also, how do you expect to work with federal partners in the next 4 years?
So if an officer comes across anybody with a warrant, whether it's state, local, or federal, they're obligated warrant on there. We have cooperated with all agencies across the board here in El Paso in my 40 years. This is nothing new that we work with all agencies, local, state, and federal.
Chief, will the city, police department challenge any request of sensitive information from like those enhanced municipal IDs if ICE is looking for individuals who are undocumented?
You're talking about a hypothetical, so I have no way of answering what they're going to be asking or what they're looking for.
Is it just going to be scenario-based if you're looking for an actual person who's been convicted?
That's I don't know how they're going to do their operations. That's a question you're going to have to ask the federal authorities.
And if they do ask for sensitive information at all, is there any policy on the books right now that addresses when the federal government asks for sensitive information like that?
Once again, all that material is CJIS material. It's governed by the FBI, so it's all governed by law enforcement rules and regulations.
Chief, just to clarify, you mentioned obviously if there is a warrant out, a criminal warrant out for someone's arrest, that you bring them in, you obviously follow the law. But if the feds come in and say they then want those people transferred over into their custody, what is the current practice in this city and county?
You'd have to ask the sheriff's department how they do that with the booking in their county jail. They run the jail.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sure. Names and spellings for the record. It's going to be Renard Johnson Mayor. It's spelled R-E-N-A-R-D. Johnson is J-O-H-N-S-O-N. The second person who spoke is going to be the police chief. Police chief is Peter Pasillas. Standard spelling P-E-T-E-R. Pasillas is, oh, you've got my, hold on. You've challenged my brain here. Hold on. I want to make sure that I've got it right. P-A-C-I-L-L